I also do whatever tasks she wants around the house, including sweeping or cleaning the floors, cleaning up the kitchen and the dishes after dinner. Oh, stop right there. Yeah. You're doing more than enough. That's fine. They're turning you into a Cinderella. That's what they're doing.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead, look it up. Thanks so much. People seem to really like that I got upset at various parts of the Bad Roommates episode yesterday, so I figured why not go in, do some Am I the A-hole, and we could just pass our judgment on like 10 people, rapid fire, or as rapid as it gets on this channel, which is, pretty rambly and long form. But thanks for being here. Hey, let's start this thing up. All right, this is the most deranged one I have in front of me. Am I the a-hole for sending this to my son, 22 male, at 7 a.m. in the morning? You gotta be glad this is a throwaway account, because this was written by a crazy person. Okay, for context, he has graduated from college and lives with his girlfriend in the same city as us. It's a big city, and he lives far away. His grandparents and uncle don't know he's not living with us and pry a lot. He calls us every morning. He doesn't visit us very often, and when he does, we fight. And he still calls you every morning? I think you're giving him a lot less credit than you should for just that. You seem like a handful. Is it so out of the realm of possibility for you to visit your son sometimes? Give me a reason. Just be like, we don't drive very well. I'll be like, okay, makes sense. Anyway, get back into it. Okay, why do you fight? OP says, well, we fight because he thinks we don't respect his independence. He tells us that we weren't the best parents to him growing up. Both of us had jobs and never gave him much time. He spent most of his childhood with his grandparents instead of us. I want him to spend time with us now that we're older. Am I the a-hole? Based off of just that, I can understand it. You should have an open, honest conversation with him. Be like, we miss you. I understand we didn't do these things and I apologize for it. But I'd like to spend time with you now while we still have this time on the planet that we could possibly spend together, you know? Hard conversation. I don't think you're the butthole for not having it necessarily. It's what comes next where the wheels really come off. I sent this to him at 7 a.m. in the morning. He has not replied. Hi, son. Your mother is not well. We had gone to a concert last weekend. She fell ill there, and she couldn't breathe properly. Who's this message supposed to be from? Is she speaking in the third person when she says your mother's not well? Then she starts speaking in the third person through like all of the rest of it. But your lie's debunked when you start out with hi, son. It's just not the brightest. She has started sneezing often and has trouble breathing properly. I think you mentioned that before, Doc. You write like a moron. You should start taking care of her if you want her to recover faster. She puts on a brave front, trying to convince me, whoever I'm supposed to be, that everything is fine, but I know she is missing you. This is ridiculous. Like, you can't honestly just sit down and say these things. You have to pretend there's a doctor and an illness at 7 a.m. You're an insane person. Has nobody told you this? Your son's told you this, but you're just like, he's flying off the handle. Reddit will agree with me. No, I don't think that they will. I'm not trying to do any emotional blackmail. That's exactly what this is. But she is tired of answering probing questions from her parents and your uncle for which she has no answers. She told you all of this? Is this like, you just have a telepathic connection with my mother? It is fine if you want to stay during the week there, but at least during weekends, stay with us. Oh, I guess this is the father speaking? She lied and pretended to be the dad? This is weird, dude. It's also interesting that it's never stated why it matters at all that the grandparents and uncle don't know that he's not living with them. Are they just old-fashioned? You gonna marry that girl, you gonna put a ring on it? Yes, I'm gonna take this shotgun, stick it where the sun don't shine. Can I offer you some biscuits and mustard?
Have mustard and biscuits 3-4 times a week.
It will make us happy and improve her health. Buy a crystal skull. I don't know what to tell you.
I do believe in crystal skulls.
I know whenever she talks to you, she ends up asking all the wrong questions, but it's because she's too anxious. I would love to know some examples of, like, what questions were asked. What caused these fights? It's all so vague, it could be anything. I imagine it's something really horrible. There you are, staying away in the same city and not calling us, and even if you call, the call doesn't last more than a couple of minutes. It is all hurting her deeply. I mean, at a certain point, you are asking him to build a relationship with who are essentially strangers who are stuck working all the time, you know? Kids like whoever spends time with them the most, whoever they connect with the most. Obviously, that was a social circle and not you. And for him to call, it's still nice. How about you thank him for calling instead of saying that the call wasn't long enough, you know? A little bit of humbleness, a little bit of gratitude truly goes a long way. I would not have sent this message if I were not concerned about her health. It is becoming more and more difficult for us to shift to the new home because the sofa guy isn't giving us a time when it will be delivered. The curtains have not been delivered too. What the this is like gone off into an old people rant. When I was a delivery boy, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways. Speaking of snow, you ever notice how it used to be just cold, fluffy stuff, and now we're all these fancy names? The news is talking about a polar vortex, bomb cyclones. Is this a weather report or one of those newfangled superhero movies? Never did like comics, never liked them one little bit. Why are you sitting around reading books with pictures in them as a 30-year-old man? Because people like to enjoy things, Grandpa. God. It's 4 p.m. Take your meds and go to sleep. He's really going to ramble on about it. And the interior designer has gone back to her hometown, leaving the work unfinished. There are things to be fixed in that house. Now we get down to the meat of it. We had the mental health issue, and there's also we want you to do physical labor. You still don't really want to connect with your son or spend time with him, do you? You just want a free worker. No wonder he's kicking it at his girlfriend's house. At our old house... I think they meant age. We can't leave the house empty for a long period. Just like a mini stroke there. I'm not going to read what I wrote. I wrote it. Just send it. It's 7 a.m. Pretending it's a medical emergency and then devolving into, could you come help us hang up some curtains sometime? I'm dead. This is knee-slappingly good. I just slapped my knee. In case you believe that we are putting too much pressure on you, asking you to stay with us during weekends or even calling us without getting irritated, then please don't bother. Oh yeah, here comes the big ultimatum. It sounds like he let you guys go long before you let him go, so somehow, yes, I do not think that he will bother. I will somehow manage. We're back to I again. It's the mom writing this whole thing, isn't it? She's just too dumb to realize, like, tenses or narratives. Just flip-flopping all over the place. Okay, I'm done being sneaky now. I can say this as me again. This is just banana. Cuckoo bananas. As far as I'm concerned, I know that it is payback time. I never took care of my parents during their old age. I kept them waiting. I used to get irritated often, never took them out. I was a very bad son to them. And even knowing that fact, Dad here didn't bother to even try to lay the groundwork to, establish a relationship and rapport with this child, to the point that they might actually want to take care of you in your old age. You're just like, I don't know, you were a nuisance and now you're out and I can start trying to use you. It's really one of the ugliest posts that I've seen, written by what I presume is just a complete psychopath. We haven't done narcissist parents because I sort of hate the narcissist subreddit because, that's such an applicable term. But I think in a culture where electronics are taking hold of things more and more, it does allow people to develop more of a narcissist, I am the main character type of complex, which is why we've seen the rise of that as a meme. And yeah, even beyond the direct effect on yourself, it affects your kids, you know? Stop using your phone around your kids. Sit down, play blocks with them. They love it. They love it. Play trucks, Barbies, whatever, man. Life is busy, you're a workaholic. There's a lot of things I gotta do. Well, take an hour. Take an hour out of your day to play with your children. 30 minutes. Do you know how long 30 minutes is to a kid? You got regrets now? Well, that's too bad. Maybe don't try reeling somebody back in via a fake health emergency. And also, we need work done on the house. I love these posts where it's you really don't even have to ask the question. Sometimes I get bamboozled. Sometimes, yeah, it's just a rambling scrawl like this that gets 0 upvotes. And I think these are the best ones. These are the ones that I feast upon the most. Let's see if we can find another one. Am I the butthole for getting upset and hurt at my boyfriend for asking me to give a little more after his parents complain that I'm a freeloader whenever I come over to their home? I'm glad this one's not as poorly written as the last one, but yeah, it's deranged in a a strange and new way. So a little backstory. I've been dating my boyfriend for about a year. He does live at home with both of his parents. We are both in our early 30s, and it is a bit uncomfortable with dating since he lives at home. God, dude. I could not. It's like one of the first steps in pulling yourself together, becoming your own person. Come on. OP defends it by saying, financially, he is saving a lot of money, and with today's market, it makes sense. Those are his words coming out of your mouth. I'll allow it all through your 20s, but by 30, bro, you better fucking have it together. However, the past few months, I've been coming over 2 to 3 times a week to his parents' house around dinner time and to sleep over. Met the parents and everything, oh lord. Every night, my boyfriend's mother makes dinner for everybody. She can get kind of cranky and irritable, so we all just try to give her her own space in the kitchen. But whenever she asks for my help, I always give her whatever assistance she may need. Well, I think it's you not offering to help is what pisses her off. It's sort of good manners just to ask. You're sort of breaking the social contract by not asking. I know it's sort of deep in the nitty-gritty, and I don't blame OP for not picking it up, but yeah, she wants you to offer. She doesn't want to have to ask you. I also do whatever tasks she wants around the house, including sweeping or cleaning the floors, cleaning up the kitchen and the dishes after dinner. Oh, stop right there. Yeah. You're doing more than enough. That's fine. They're turning you into a Cinderella. That's what they're doing.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
I also buy things outside the home that she might need or asks for, pick up vegetable or fruit co-op at the local farm when she's out of town. Is this an audition to see how well you're gonna take care of her little baby boy once he finally fucking flies the nest? Fat tub of trash. I definitely have a picture painted in my head. It's probably not the full story. I'm sure you guys have some fun times together too. But right now, all I can see is red. Red flags everywhere. Over Thanksgiving weekend, my boyfriend asked his parents if I could sleep over on Saturday night. Early 30s. Asked his parents if his girlfriend could sleep over. Holy fuck, man. Can't. His parents stated that they didn't want me to sleep over that night. So I did get kind of sad. But I went home and he slept over at my place that night. What? Why are we getting the parents involved at all? Does OP have a roommate? I don't know what's happening. OP continues, after I left that night and before my boyfriend came to my place, they got into a heated fight about it all. His mom stated, "She shows up right at dinner, and we feel like she's freeloading. She doesn't offer to help out while I'm cooking, and she doesn't prepare the food with me." Yeah, you're not building a connection at all with the parents. Again, human connection, sort of what this whole experience is about, I think. You really feel like you're in love with this 30-something man that lives with his parents? Okay, fine. You're bothering to show up, establish some rapport with the parents. Why not be like a respectful guest? The best guest you can possibly be. Ask mom how her day's going. Let her ramble about some shit that happened at the supermarket. When it comes to sweeping, mopping, all that stuff, nah, that ain't my mess. But the dinner I'm about to consume, yes, I will absolutely be happy to help with that. Anyway, boyfriend's dad also said, "I don't like having her here, because it feels like I can't be comfortable when she's around." Whatever, dude, it's your house. Take your pants off, like. You establish what the norm is for your own home. Son doesn't like it? Hey, maybe you shouldn't be here at 30-something.
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it.
It sounds to me like the parents also don't care about having a connection. One wants you to do chores, of your own free will, of course, without ever stating that directly to you, I'm sure. And the other one just doesn't want you to be there at all. So, like, why? Why?
Why?
I guess because boyfriend is a mommy-daddy boy. This just feels like absolute insanity to me. The OP is like, you know, twisting the narrative to make herself look better. But yeah, I think the parents are insane. They're putting you through the loops. They want you to offer and all this crap so they feel like you'd be more than capable of taking care of their little baby boy once he leaves. OP says, my boyfriend said that he did defend me during this argument with his parents. He said he listed off things of how I helped her in past instances and gave examples of how I always clean up the kitchen and always do everything that she asks of me. Yeah, the asking is the problem part, I guess. OP says, what hurt my feelings most is that my boyfriend wants me to, quote, give a little bit more and just help out more, so she just shuts up about it. How about you consider getting your own place away from your parents? I know the market, blah, blah, blah. You're 30, okay? It's time. I always have some people in the comments getting upset about me when I state that it's time, but it's fucking time, okay? 18 to 22, I went to the Navy. They housed me. 22, I came back to my parents' house. But within like a year or two, I was moved into an apartment with some roommates. You don't want to stagnate? Live at mommy and daddy's house forever? Maybe you do. I have thought that OP needed to cut ties since the first sentence, but yeah, this is just the clincher. He's backing up his mommy as best he can in front of you without losing face. Does that make sense? So if you want to come second always to his own mother, then yeah, go right ahead. Get married. I'm sure you'll be very miserable. Oh, I meant happy. Definitely happy. I find that insulting because I've done nothing wrong. I mean, no, not really. Technically. I guess that just depends on your own moral compass. Am I the a-hole for feeling insulted that I need to change? God. That boils down to every post ever, right? I don't want to change. I like how I'm comfortable. No, dude, come on. Just try something different for a little bit. See how it feels. OP says, I feel like they're the ones that need to change and apologize. Oh, and I'm just looking for some unbiased opinions about this whole situation. Thank you. My opinion?
Run, bitch! Run!
OP does have an edit here too. This has been a tough read, but thank you everyone for the constructive feedback. Time to take a good hard look in the mirror. Oh, you doing some cocaine? Let me get in on that. I need to stop spending time at his parents' house, as I've worn out my welcome. Depression can be hard to navigate, so I've been spending time at his parents' home because it feels homey. Yeah, I mean, you're a few steps ahead of where he is, but I don't think you're ready for a relationship either, if I can be super frank. OP says, I need to stay at my own home, and if my boyfriend wants to spend time together, we can hang out here. He's gonna make you come pick him up. He's like, I don't know. You get some bus money for me, babe? The bus is stop at 10. I want to get back to mommy's house. I mean, my apartment. My room with my roommates, who are also my parents. Also, I just want to know, every time I go to his parents' house, I always make sure that we get the mother's approval. My boyfriend and I text and coordinate with his mom so that it's okay that I come over and spend the night and have dinner with them. I don't just show up unannounced. I guess it's just a mystery to me why you're so intent on making this situation work. You've been pointed at and called a freeloader despite the fact that precious baby boy, he's not doing a goddamn thing with this 30-something years. Far be it from him to sweep the floor or help with cooking. I just don't understand it. It's like all of the frustrations that she has with her son are being projected onto you. It's a really weird situation to walk into and to sit there for a year and be like, yeah, I think I could live this forever. That's like, that's some serious damage on your own behalf. You admit to yourself that you're depressed, and honestly, I think the best thing would be to cut yourself off from the situation and spend some time getting to know yourself, getting really comfortable with yourself. A lot of people don't do that. They have the baggage, then jump from one relationship to another, only accumulating more baggage along the way. And by the end of it all, they really can't stand on their own two legs. Now you gotta go to a therapist, get some professional help to unsort the wires. But yes, regardless of your investment into this relationship, I don't think that this is the best thing for you. I don't think it's the best thing for him, but I don't give a shit about him, really. He's a loser. You got a chance, OP. I've got 3 words for you. Scrape them off. All right, next post. Oh, this one's nice and crappy. Am I the a-hole for admitting I was wrong? That's so stupid. Of course you're not. You're trying to play the victim in the title? Sorry for any misspelling. I'm very drunk. So I went to a bar tonight and I paid $5 for a beer, but because I was drunk, I paid $15 for a beer for a girl that works there. That set off some red flags that this bar is a scam. You mean you tipped the waitress $10? I think I might know where the communication breakdown's coming from, huh? So I went to the ATM and I withdrew 60. I thought I gave the bartender 20, but I actually gave her 10. Since I saw the red flag earlier, I thought I was getting scammed again. Even the Coke dealer said I was wrong. Oh, he's here too. Great. Hey, let me get an 8-ball. I can't put that in. That's fine. My FBI agent knows it's a joke, for real. I thought I was wrong, but realized I was wrong after. I tried to apologize and even offered $20 to apologize and admit that I was wrong. They weren't having it and threatened to kick me out. I walked away with my 20 and just went home. Probably won't go tick that bar again. Am I the a-hole? I don't even know what the hell I just read. Probably, yeah. You're a mess of a human being, and you need to pull it together. I'm not gonna spend any more time on this. Next. Am I the butthole for throwing a massive fit over my birthday celebration? I mean, if you're older than 8, probably yeah. And 8 is given a lot of leeway. Stop tolerating that shit at 4. I turned 30 today. Congratulations, you're old and nobody cares. You haven't facilitated relationships because you're kind of difficult to be around. Yeah. Okay. For weeks, my mom, who I live with, oh God, kept asking what I wanted to do. I said I would like a nice meal at a fancy restaurant. She said, no, that's too expensive. I kept giving options to what I would like: an overnight stay at a hotel with a pool, an out-of-town overnight day trip, meal at a fancy AYCE restaurant, or a cheap Airbnb with pool access. She declined all of those because it was too expensive, too far, etc. I mean, you're fucking 30, OP. For her to do anything at all is above and beyond the Call of Duty at this point. You realize that, don't you? You're wanting gifts that are hundreds of dollars. What have you given your mother for her birthday? Can I ask you that? Did you ever ask her what she wanted? I know you didn't, because even at 30, you're a self-absorbed scumbag, which is fine, but then don't expect anybody else to do anything for you. Got it? Just ridiculous. She countered with treating the whole extended family, 20 people, to a cheap Chinese restaurant the day after my birthday because that's a weekend. Not even the fancy kind. Oh, God, how egregious. She wanted to include the whole family in a nice thing for your happy day. You're just the worst kind of person, you know that. It was a cheap, like, almost fast food type of restaurant. Yeah, most Chinese buffets are. It's fine. Did you not hear the part where you can eat as much as you want? She was insistent, so I gave in since she'll be paying because it's quote-unquote my gift. Mind you, our family is middle upper class, and I'm an only child, so expenses aren't a problem. God, who could even tell that she's an only child, you know? She's so well adjusted. Like, okay, your mom, maybe she is trying to cheap out. She wants the dinner to be the gift and etc., doesn't want to buy you like an actual present, but that's fine. Like I said, you're 30. What sort of value are you even offering to the family at this point in your life? Can I ask you that? Probably not. It's too personal. There's a scary answer at the end. We just don't want to go down that path, right? On the day of my birthday, today, there's literally nothing. Not even a breakfast or lunch cooked. Yes, where is Chauncey? We gave him the day off on my birthday. Unacceptable! Do you people not realize I'm entering the last few years of my prime? Quite uncouth. No card or flowers, nothing. Not even a Facebook post. Oh God, how egregious. Like, like that shit even matters. What's it like to be this uncomfortable with yourself? You just need other people to acknowledge your existence or else it doesn't matter? You can't control other people. That's a fucking insane way to go through life. You realize that, don't you? That's my gift for your birthday, OP. Some hard-learned advice. Be comfortable with yourself or suffer. She said that since we're going out tomorrow, there's no need to celebrate my birthday today. I lost my temper and started screaming at the top of my lungs that that's not what I wanted to do. Oh God, well, what am I supposed to do here? Can we get her out of the house? No, she lives here? God damn it. Yeah, happy birthday. You know what I do? I pull out the old Spotify and play It's My Birthday, I Can Cry If I Want to through the door. This is like a fuck you. You really want to escalate this? Let me give you a soundtrack.
It's my party and I cry if I want to, cry if I want to.
I wanted to eat good food in a nice, quiet, fancy restaurant, not have a mini reunion at a cheap Chinese restaurant. The price of feeding 20 people costs much more than the price of 2 people at a fancy restaurant too. Now she's crying and calling me ungrateful. Am I the a-hole? Also, we're Asians living in Asia for cultural context, which definitely does matter because, yes, very family-centric. And since we're not mentioning specific Asian countries, I'm assuming it's Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Cambodia, maybe even the good old Philippines, huh? So yes, upper middle class there is not as rich as upper middle class in a Western society. It's a hard fact of life. Maybe she legitimately cannot afford to do just this special thing for you and her and nobody else is included. And also because it's so family centric, like the uncles and aunties are gonna talk about it, you know? Little bit of the old cheese-miss. It happened to me. People knew it was my birthday. They're like, it's gonna be a big thing. And then nothing happened. I'm like, I just don't really like to celebrate it. Steak and potatoes every year. Maybe have a beer with it. I'm good. The rest of the day proceeds as normal. It's also a good excuse to buy a cake, but that's about it. I don't care who doesn't greet me on Facebook or send me gifts and stuff. One year my Discord mods did get together and bought me a stream deck. Real nice Elgato XL with the big old buttons on there. Oh God. I've since burned myself out on streaming a little bit, but when I decide to come back, it's there. And it even gets functions outside. It's such a good tool. Anyways, you will be so much more grateful for things that you don't expect, you know? OP has this very specific picture in her head, and I guess mom is doing the mom thing too, of where she asks, but she already has an answer in mind. My wife does it all the time. She's like, what shirt do you want to wear? I'm like, I don't know. You already know. Just get the one you like. Because I'll pick one and she'll be like, oh, that's not really an outside shirt. I'm like, it's Slipknot. It's fine. I do get how that can be frustrating, but at a certain point, you just have to be like, well, that's my mom and that's kind of who she is. And I'm glad to include other people on my special date. Well, like, do you have a bad relationship with your family? Is that why you don't want to see them? Or are you just like this much of a self-absorbed idiot? Because I think I know the answer, but it's just a Reddit post. I can't know the whole story. I'm sure you're a deep and complex person. It wasn't about the Chinese buffet, Mom. It's just so many things building up inside. Yeah, I've heard it before. It's fine. Good luck with all that. Happy fucking birthday or whatever. I hope it's exactly the one that you deserve. We're moving on. Am I the butthole for not inviting my boyfriend on a weekend trip? I mean, it's not compulsory, but this will devolve pretty quickly, I'm sure. OP says, I got an undergrad degree in the US and am now pursuing, you spelled it wrong, a different degree in Europe, where I met my boyfriend. My college friends from the US are coming to Paris for the weekend, so I'm just meeting them there for a couple of days. I've had trouble adapting to my new college environment and feel lonely at times, so I'm really excited to see them. I missed them a lot and cried to him last week about feeling lonely. I told him in advance about this trip. So far, I find these things relatable, and yeah, I'm gonna give all that a pass. Seems completely normal. It was supposed to be just me and my two friends, but at the last minute, my friend's boyfriend invited himself. Oh, is that how that works? My boyfriend joked about booking a ticket and coming, and I was like, babe, I'm really sorry, but I don't think there's any room for you. This is true. I'm sharing a twin-size bed with my friend. The others are also sharing a bed. You gonna do this to a French man, the most romantic of us all, or you just don't want to sleep next to a French guy? Is that where this is coming from? I'm sorry, French people, I love you. Your cuisine is the best in the world and your arrogance can't be matched. Not even by America. That's crazy. Okay. OP says, aside from that, he's never met my friends, and honestly, I don't think they have that much in common, and I just don't think this trip is the correct occasion for meeting them. Yeah, they probably won't even connect, so why try? It's so weird to separate parts of your life like this. If he really does mean something to you, why would you not be overjoyed to have him along? I think he's a base of social connection for you within France, which is sort of what happened to me when I went to Japan. The girl I dated all 4 years there. Social lifeline. And also I'm generally codependent on other people and have never really taken the time to find myself outside of a relationship. But those are my own demons. We're here to talk about your demons, OP. Party demons. That's what's gonna happen in that bedroom. Whoa. Of course, boyfriend took all this really personally and basically took it as there's no room for him in my life. He says that he always invites me on all the trips, even guys' trips, which I don't expect and am confused as to why he does. He said he's extremely insulted that I didn't invite him, that it's bitchy, and that he's not taken seriously in my life, etc. I love him. He's laying it down so flat right now. If the other boyfriend can just invite himself along, why can't your boyfriend? He's invested in you. He's romantical with you. He wants you two to intertwine your lives forever, and you're just like, I don't know if I'm ready. Honestly, kind of commitment issues, whatever. It's fine for me, not for you. When I'm ready to settle down, you better marry me. I just have a picture painted in my head. I don't know what to tell you. OP says, we spend so much time together and are basically attached at the hip, and I personally don't see the problem with a weekend apart. It's normal to need a short break from your partner sometimes. So yeah, we argued and talked all night about this, and I'm pissed because I only got an hour of sleep before my flight, and I feel like he almost purposefully ruined my weekend. Am I the butthole? Yeah, you're really self-absorbed. You're using this other person for your purposes to fill the hole in your heart of loneliness while you stay in France. And then once you're done with your schooling, you'll probably be like, I feel like our lives are going in separate directions. Which they are, but they didn't have to be. He tried to go along for the ride. He sees one dude going on the girls' trip. He's like, why can't I also go then? He definitely didn't sabotage your weekend. That's just your main character syndrome activating. You're like, yeah, he probably did on purpose, huh? No, he cares for you. He was hoping that you'd invite him at the last minute, and you didn't. I feel bad that he's so dependent on someone who clearly doesn't care all that much about him. Is this just like a fun fling for you? If so, then he's not wrong in saying that he's not taken seriously in your life. There seems to be a lot of communication issues. It might be a language barrier thing, but it's nothing that you can't work around, you know? You just got to be willing to put in the time and the effort, and it doesn't seem like OP's willing to do that. She wants to have it her way, everything's at her convenience. How other people clearly feel about things doesn't matter all that much. So I'm going to say, yeah, a firm asshole for you, which is pretty lucky. There's a lot of old people out there that would kill for that. Anyways, let's see what else we got here. User Jolly Cantaloupe, am I the butthole for telling a housemate that I can hear them having sex?
Huh?
That's hilarious. An awkward discussion to have for sure, but good on you for having it. Of course, they're going to react with righteous indignation because they can't face their own shame for even half a second. Anyways, spoilers, I guess. OP says, shared building with myself and the downstairs in-law and 3 women in the main portion of the house. Around 9 p.m. the other night, I can hear of the mattress, and it's pretty obvious that someone upstairs is doing the old, pardon the vague euphemism, PIV intercourse. That's not a euphemism at all. I occupy myself elsewhere where I can't hear it, and when the sounds have been absent for a while, I text, hey, not to be crass or make anyone self-conscious, but before the next sexy time, no, don't call it that. Sexy time? That does make it pretty weird. How old are you? How old are they? Quite a bit of context missing there. They probably do just think you're a creepy old man now. That mattress needs some serious de-squeaking. I left some WD-40 at the bottom of the basement stairs. Smiley face to all 3 girls above. As I'm not sure who's doing what, not like it really matters. And I did leave an old bottle of WD-40 out with the mail on the basement steps, not in a cheeky way, but as a genuine solution to said problem. Yeah, that's a you problem, OP. That doesn't affect me at all. That helps me keep the rhythm. Total acquaintance relationship with all 3. They do their thing, I do mine, and our paths rarely cross. We share some communal things like laundry, mail distribution, trash, recycling, but separate entrances, and we don't really interact socially. And yeah, you gave them the solution to a problem, but 1, it's your problem, not theirs, and 2, women mostly just want to feel like they're heard and understood, you know? Every time my wife tells me something, I'm like, here's a solution to your problem. She's like, I don't want a solution. I just need you to listen. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Can I offer the solution yet? We just handle things in very separate ways. And of course, what you're actually doing is asking them to face their own shame. So of course, my money's still on righteous indignation. The next day, I received this as a response. That was incredibly crass and intrusive the other night. Please put on headphones next time. I mean, please don't make me need headphones next time. What are you talking about? It's an easy fix, just a little spritz here and there. Then you can fucking stealth all you want, listening to Hudson Mohawk.
You and me are gonna make the baby.
OP says, what am I missing? Or what did I do or not do that makes me an a-hole? Or is said responsee being the a-hole? Genuine question, not morally high-grounding or trying to call someone an a-hole. Thanks in advance for any opinions. And boy, do I got some opinions for you. Yeah, you probably did the right thing trying to address it. That's normally what I advocate. You made it as impersonal as possible, and at a certain point, it's her own damage, you know? She's projecting her insecurities and her own shame onto you. And I think that's exactly what I'd say back to her. Like, look, it's not a big deal. The thing that you're doing was crass, so don't call me that. As far as intrusive goes, what could be less intrusive than texting you that there's some WD-40 near the mailbox? Am I supposed to just sit down here, not acknowledge it? Fuck you, bitch! I live here too! Okay, maybe not that last part. See, that's why you gotta get in the right headspace. You're like, okay, wind it back a little bit. Okay, we're ready to have this conversation. Or ready to bang on the ceiling with a broomstick every time you hear it. I don't know. Yell up there, did you use the WD-40 yet? Just a spritz will set you right. Come on, you harlot. I'm sorry. Lord, I apologize. Because Lord knows she ain't gonna apologize for herself. Oh man, here I go. Just spinning out of control. I really like these short ones, you know, just a little taste of everything. This is the type of stuff we gotta do moving forward. It really activates my almonds. So how about this one? Am I the butthole for telling my husband to kick out his mom? Yeah, dude. Would you do it if it was your mom? You're a monster. I don't know. Maybe the Philippines has kind of gotten to me, and I'm in a position where I'm like, you should always take care of your parents in any way that you can, you know? And it seems like your husband's trying to do that, and for some reason you feel personally attacked by it. Tell me why, OP, that you have a problem with this continuing. Little backstory. My husband and I have been together for 3 years, married for 1. We have 2 kids together now. Oh, 1 was out of wedlock, at least. I'm over here such a Puritan. Handholders indeed. I always felt that mother-in-law didn't approve of us. Oh, she's the Puritan. And only confirmed that I was pregnant with our first. It got to the point where my husband said that he wanted no contact. She didn't want him having a baby at 25. 25's fine. Your frontal cortex is developed. You're good. They've made up, but when we've gone to visit for the weekend, mother-in-law makes it a point to keep me out of conversation and speak down towards me. I cut my hair, and her word choice was, "Oh, I guess it doesn't look too bad on you." It's better than what I would have said. Hey, son, who's your friend? New little boy moved into the neighborhood? Oh, Jesus, it's you. Oh, my God. What happened? You get in a fight with a lawnmower? Mother-in-law lived in a different state until now, because now she's living with us, as has been established by the title, thank you. She told my husband that she moved to help us with the kids and for a job opportunity. I do all the cooking and cleaning in the house. Mother-in-law does nothing but asks my husband to do things for her, like take her to the store, assemble furniture, maintenance on the car. Mother-in-law does not speak to me and acts as if I don't exist. Now I'm gonna have to apologize for my snap judgment. Yeah, seems like your mother-in-law's sort of a bitch. It's good to, you know, take care of your parents and stuff, but at a certain point you gotta lay down the law with them, okay? You're living under my roof at this point, and I don't need to do these things for you. You're free to ask, I will get to them if I have time, but we're living under my rules now, okay? I've recently told my husband that I don't feel comfortable in the house anymore, and she has overstayed her welcome, and it's time for her to go. Yeah, I agree. Is she actually watching the kids? Because that is a pretty big job. Like, doing all the cooking and cleaning with a couple of kids running around, that's almost impossible. But also living with a bunch of contention from your mother-in-law for no reason, that's a pretty impossible way to live too. You're definitely not the butthole here, OP. Like, it's your house. Your and your husband's house. How about mom has the good graces to, you know, make herself a good guest or something like that? Her husband seems like kind of a noodle spine, you know? He's not able to have this long conversation with his own mother. And OP confirms, saying, my husband doesn't want to tell her because according to him, he feels guilty and it would leave him sad because he hasn't been with her in about 8 years. Yeah, and it seems not much has changed in 8 years. Still ordering me around, etc., etc. Well, cut it out, Mom, because I'm married now. My wife is the one that orders me around. That's hilarious. But no, there's a kernel of truth there in that, you know, your loyalty is to your wife. You should be making your wife more comfortable than you're making your mother. Maybe your mom doesn't have any place to go, and that's sort of what I assumed at the start. You should definitely be there to take care of your parents in at least some small way. They got you to the point that you're at. But yeah, the truth is they aren't owed anything. You have to be a good house guest just like any other house guest would be. And I'm willing to tolerate even a bit more discomfort because you're family, but at a certain point we've crossed the line. I need you to go, and I need you to go right now. Or I'm gonna go. You want to lose your wife because you missed getting pushed around by mommy? Get a hold of yourself, dude. She's not the a-hole. The mother-in-law is, and the son, well, he's definitely like a coward. I don't know. Scared to take control of his own life. It's a test from the universe, son. Stand up and conquer it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Am I the butthole for asking my parents for a computer for Christmas? A little bit of sympathy baiting in the title. Also a reminder that the holidays are coming up. OP says, I, 18 female, have been asking my parents for a computer for 3 years. I mean, you're 18 at this point. It doesn't matter how many years you ask for it. Like, if it's not in the budget, it's not in the budget. What do you want to do? It would be nice if parents saved up and were able to do all that stuff, but I don't know their capabilities, right? So for my 16th birthday, my family went on a trip to another city 6 hours away, and I got to take my best friend at the time with us. My grandparents also gifted me one of their cars. For my graduation, my parents got me a nice ring, just like my grandmother had done for my mother. For my 18th birthday, I got a Monster High doll and scratch-off tickets. Dude, what the fuck is... I hate things like this. You realize that. You're doing this just to torture me, aren't you? It's never enough for you. Thanks for the car and all this other shit, but you need to get me a computer too. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? My parents didn't do shit for me, especially in the later years. So this type of stuff always gets my goat. This year for Christmas, I once again asked my parents for just the PC and told them that I would purchase the mouse, keyboard, monitor, etc. on my own. Oh yeah, big financial investment there. I even asked to split half the price if they didn't want to spend the full amount. Please, sir, just one spare GPU. Ew, a 1650? I was hoping for like 3000 series. You see exactly where this is going, right? OP says, my brother, 16 male, has had his own Alienware PC for 2 years. Alienware. Good choice. And he just recently got a third VR headset. What the fuck for? Parents are buying all this for it? Well, this seems a little more hinky. He has 2 Meta Quests. What the hell's that? And another that I can't remember the name of, though. It has camera tracking with full ear covers and seems pretty high quality. He's gotten all of these as gifts for birthdays or holidays. He's also receiving payments from my grandparents for a car when he gets his license. Yeah, it seems like everybody's doing everything for these kids, and then they're gonna hit the real world and have a big wake-up call. But you know what? It's nice while it lasts. I'm glad he gets to enjoy these things. I'm sorry that you didn't, OP, but you see, in only a couple of years, families can go through different financial standings. Did you tell them that you wanted an Alienware specifically? God forbid an Apple product. That's probably exactly what you did, isn't it? I really like this new iMac. What are you going to use it for? Facebook? Checking your email? No. Show me that you can produce something on this netbook piece of crap, and then we'll give you something else. That's how I had to start. That's how you have to start. Good luck. Whatever. Anyway, when I asked my parents for the computer again today, November 30, thanks, OP, my mom told me that she had already completed her shopping for my gifts and that I would not be receiving a computer. She told me that she's still shopping for my brother. I then asked my dad if I could split the price, and he told me that a computer like my brother's would just cost too much. Yeah, it's time to compromise, OP. Be like, I'd be cool with just a netbook, you know? Won't you spare just $100 extra for me, Papa? I would do it every time my daughter asked me. I'm like, all right, go ahead. She hasn't asked me for a computer. Usually it's art supplies. It's a lot cheaper investment. But still, I'd do it. OP says, my parents keep telling me that because I went on a trip for my 16th birthday, it's different. They also told me my ring was very expensive and that it was my birthday and graduation gift. But who gives a fuck, man? Your real problem is that you're keeping score between you and your brother. Why does he have stuff that I want? Like, get over it. That's where his focus is, clearly. You're like, this would be a nice extra thing to have. Was the 18th birthday thing like the Monster High doll and scratch-off tickets that were mentioned? She's sad about that? Let me say it again, you're 18. You know what I got for my 18th birthday? Luggage. It's time to get out, son. Go make your way. Whatever. Anyway, I appreciate everything my parents do and provide for me. I love them and I wouldn't be here without them. I love my brother too, and I don't want him to feel like he's the reason I'm upset because he hasn't done anything wrong. Yeah, I'm totally appreciative of all these things, but if you could just do a little bit more. You got a roof over your head. That's about all you're entitled to. They've gone so far beyond the Call of Duty, and you're still like, I just need more. We could even go halves, just give me more. Like, if you could save up half, you could save up the whole thing. You could buy it for yourself. Imagine how much better it will feel if you really earn that for yourself. But that's not what you want. You want to whine and stomp your feet and say, meet me halfway, you have to. No, I don't. You're 18. You're lucky that you're still here. OP says, I don't want to be ungrateful or selfish, and I feel like a petty little kid even writing this, but I can't help but feel like they're favoring him. They're cultivating the things that he's clearly shown interest in. They're doing the same for you. Parents are just out here doing the best that they can for the kids that they have at the time with whatever the hell they got. And sometimes it's a lot more, and sometimes it's a lot less. The only time you should be looking into your neighbor's bowl is to make sure that they have enough. Not so you can be a jealous asshole, be like, why does he get so much stuff? You asked for the computer for however many years. Did you ever specify what computer you wanted? Pick out one that's just capable of the bare minimum of things that you want to do and be like, this is how much it'll cost. I want this computer, please. Maybe your parents have you painted into the box as like this little social butterfly and he's the gamer nerd that needs all the nice gadgets. With me and my little brother, it was kind of the opposite, but I'll let you guess who's whose. OP says, I don't understand why he gets the nice things he asks for, and I don't. I don't understand why he gets the specific things he asks for, and I don't. It feels like they pay attention to his interests and hobbies more than they do to mine. It makes me really sad, because it feels like they don't care to know who I am. How dare you? Like, what the fuck? You don't know who I am enough. Obviously, they've done nice things in the past that you appreciated, but because they're not doing this one thing, and your brother got some things that are similar, we're gonna paint this whole victim narrative? But it was for Christmas, ReddX! 3 Christmases! Yeah, you could have saved up money for your own fucking computer in 3 Christmases. Stop depending on other people to live your life for you. I get it, you're 18, freshly 18. The world's your oyster, you know? Get out there and make something of it. Stop waiting for somebody to hand you something. Really, they've handed you an expensive ring, which you could sell to buy the laptop, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because you don't want to have to give anything up. It's other people who have to give to me. It's a fucking disgusting way to go through life. Eventually, you'll get it figured out. I remember 18, okay? I was dumb as hell. And on a long enough timeline, OP will also realize that. There's even like a flicker of self-realization even now. So maybe before 20, she'll get it all figured out. Here's to hoping, at least. I'm pretty tired now, so I think that's gonna be the end of it. I hope you guys will hit all the buttons. I really do appreciate that. On the end card, I'm gonna link the playlist to these AITA videos, which have some good takes and some bad, I guess. But hey, that's what keeps this whole thing fun and engaging, isn't it? I know you guys will enjoy it for real, so click on through. And of course, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead and cut them open. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. Promise swears it's just a fact.